I dated a girl before. After work, she had to get high.
Yeah, I'm good.
And she was dope too. Like everything about her was like she was a dope chick. You know, she was wifey material too. Like she was
Dope
like
chick on dope.
And then but then that was the thing that kept me at bay. I'll do an edible every once in a while myself for my back. Like,
I'm about to do one as soon as we done.
I did one before.
Before you came here?
I should have took one
Yeah.
before.
you wanted to drive and be high, nigga?
No, I time it up.
We know
By
if you
time
doing
by
it-
time you start driving back, I'll be in the car with you driving back.
I hate a responsible nigga. It's a time release. And it's only a quarter. It's like a little tiny little.
So what time is
How
the
many
time
milligrams?
It's a 10, so it's probably like 2.5.
You took a quarter of a 10? Oh, you're
yeah,
fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
That's
to
not
tell
even
this
gonna-
nigga, man.
Fucking nerd
Tell
over
you-
here,
Talk
bro.
to your man.
2.5, that's barely gonna hit.
Is that going to barely hit for somebody that does it, or barely hit for somebody that doesn't do it like me?
I wouldn't say I necessarily do it, so I think it would hit you the same.
How often do you do it?
I do it, I do it when I do it.
So it's that
You know what I
2.5 is not gonna hit him the same. As it
It's
hits
not
you.
gonna hit me.
Like, I do
Edible.
10.
You do 10s?
Yeah,
Just
10.
at 8 p.m.?
I started at 2.5.
All right, and you at
but I
10
built
now.
up to 10.
Yeah.
Jesus, I still don't know what any of this. I don't know what any of this means for real.
5 is my max.
Yeah, I did 15 one time. Don't like it.
Yep. What you gotta do is you do your 2.5, right? And an hour later, you gotta do some smack.
Wait,
what is
what is
smack?
What is smack? I'm gonna say this.
Thanks for tuning in. Matter of fact, thanks for your patronage. Wildly inappropriate. See how I brutally honest it? Like, wow, that boy, wow. Don't you see them boys so crazy? Chilling with the homies, dog, Keon, Gary, and KB.
I used to think we gave you black lips.
They said that on everything.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
And then what's his name said it on Friday too. He was like, "Cause your lips
Yeah.
turning black." Like,
Is it still a thing? Is that
I don't know.
has it
Everybody
ever
I
been a
know
thing?
smoking, nobody got black lips. So I don't think.
That's not true to me.
You seen some black lips?
Absolutely. I know niggas I grew up with.
But white people smoke a lot of weed too, and they
They
lips
don't
don't
have
be getting
black
black.
lips. Yeah.
They're smoking like white joints, so the lips stay light.
So you think it's the bluntage?
I think the
You
bluntage
think it's
does
some
have.
Phillies?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Also, cats will smoke down to the roach. Like they'll smoke down, and like that's where I think that's where it really comes from. It's
From
like
the
From the burning.
yeah, the burning of the
Okay.
roach and smoking down to the lip. It's just like, all right,
that would make more sense versus
they
the
actually just
joints
smoke-
versus the blunts.
Yeah. I think it's really just that cats is just like they smoking down all the way to the end. To me, it's like, do you need it that much?
Honestly, as a cheap nigga, if you pay for it, I get smoking it to the very end. Like shit, I
Keon would
pay
be a
for this.
black lip
Oh,
bastard.
I'd
if he
be
would pay-
so black baboon lip, nigga.
Do baboons have black lips?
I don't think they do, bro. It sounds funny though. It sounds hilarious.
I just wanted to be racist.
Cats have black lips, I think. My cat does.
I've never looked at a cat's lips.
They don't
think
have
all do.
like prominent lips.
Yeah,
They
Their
don't.
lips are very.
Are they the
like-
white people of animals?
I think they are. That's why white people love them so much because they
Dogs got black gum. Well, it's like whatever that like
Right,
that
right,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
the labia kind of like
of their
like-
mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like always black.
yeah.
Yeah,
Everything black.
weed never appealed to me. The smell of it all took me away immediately. When cats were coming to school, I was like, "Nigga, you stank."
That's because they be drenched in it. Like,
Yeah, it's just like,
I hate shaking hands with a nigga who just smoked.
yeah.
I'd be like, come on, bro.
Especially if they just
Like,
broke it up themselves, did all
yeah,
that.
it's
It's like it's
like-
all in the fingernails and stuff. I'm just like, man. So it's just
Well,
like,
that raw weed doesn't bother me as much as the lit. Like that whole smell together, I'd be like,
yeah.
the smoke and the weed, I'd be like, come on, bro.
Yeah, this is something that's like like I said, the one time somebody had like banana kush, I was like, okay, this made me want to smoke something. But besides that, I'd be like, man, I don't like.
Bet
so
you
you
did
like
want to
the scent
smoke a
of
banana,
bananas?
you goddamn monkey.
But you know, when people be smoking like loud, I'm like, yo, loud is just like that, or that skunk. That shit is not a
Yeah.
good smell. But I see people be like, oh, he got that loud, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that excites you.
Wait, are people still going hard like that over marijuana at this age?
Yeah.
People are still like
Oh,
excited
yeah,
like
for
that?
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
That's so
Them
weird.
niggas are ingrained
That
into
is
that life.
weird.
I think it's a culture that we're just like maybe we're not fully in for real. Like I don't knock if you smoke. I think anything kind of be when you're obsessive, it gets kind of weird to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
childish.
I'm
almost.
not mad at you getting high. Get high.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
You know
out.
what I mean?
I understand. I mean, cause me, like I'll do an edible every once in a while myself. So it's like, every once in a while for my back, or if I'm like I don't get insomnia anymore like that. But like,
I'm about to do one as soon as we done.
What's wrong with your back? I did one before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Before you
should have
came
took,
here?
I should've took one
Yeah.
before.
so you wanted to drive and be high, nigga?
I only
Have
did
me in the car?
I time it up.
By the time you start driving back, I would be in the car with you driving back.
I hate a responsible nigga. It's a time release. It's timed. And it's only a quarter. It's like a little tiny little.
So what time is
How
the
many
time
milligrams?
release?
It's a 10, so it's probably like 2.5.
You took a quarter of a 10? Oh, you're
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
That's
to
not
tell
even
this
gonna-
nigga, man.
Fucking nerd
Tell
over
you-
here,
Talk
bro.
to your man.
I don't know my milligram. I don't even know what milligrams are compared to weed. I don't know how that works. I just take whatever. I
Two
just,
and a half. That's barely gonna hit. He's just gonna have a barely.
I'm just.
Is that
chilling.
gonna barely hit for somebody that does it, or barely hit for somebody that doesn't do it like me?
I wouldn't say I necessarily do it. So I think it would hit you the same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How often do you do it?
I do it. I do it when I do it.
So it's that
You know what I
2.5 is not gonna hit him the same. As it
It's
hits
not
you.
gonna be the same.
That's it.
I might do an
I do
edible.
10
You do 10s?
Yeah.
Just out the gate?
out
Just,
the gates.
Just
10.
at 8 p.m.?
I started at 2.5.
All right, and you at
but
10
I built
now.
up to 10.
Yeah.
Jesus, I still don't know what any of this. I don't know what any of this means for real.
I built up
When niggas say
10.
tens, I be like, I'm just like,
If
oh.
I do 15, then I'm like, I'm too high. I don't like this.
Yeah. That's how I feel, yeah. I never do 10. I only 5 is my max.
Yeah, I did 15 one time because we had 2 10s. Cotty only needed half,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
I'll take your other half.
Yeah.
Nigga, when that shit all hit, I was like, don't like it.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't too. It was almost like that close to too much.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm
What-
good.
What you got to do is you do your 2.5, right? And an hour later, you got to do some smack.
Wait,
what is
what is
smack?
What is smack? I'm gonna say the same thing. I didn't want to. I'm a
'Cause I
non-druggy
thought
guy.
it was heroin, right?
I
it
think
used to be
so. I
heroin.
think it's
Is it
heroin.
heroin?
But it might be still heroin.
If they're
I
not
think.
calling it smack, they need to start
Yeah.
calling it smack again. Smack is
Smack was
fire.
great, bro.
Smack is
Smack
fire.
was a good time.
What
You
is
got some smack?
what?
I'm off that smack.
I
What
think
is-
it's heroin.
I
I'm
was always-
90% sure it's heroin.
Yeah.
What is too much of an edible? Like, what is too much of that?
Probably like 15, 20.
No, I mean, what is the duty? What's
Oh,
the
you mean
effect?
too
Oh, you
high?
just-
You'll throw
bro,
up if
you-
you
yeah.
get too high. You'll
Oh,
keep climbing,
okay.
yeah.
Paranoia,
And it's just it's
yeah.
uncomfortable. Everything
Yeah.
feels heavy. Like somebody's like pressing on your. It's just too much.
dark thoughts.
Okay, so I would
I don't
say
do all that, but
Yeah.
I've never experienced that, because every time somebody says like they do an edible for the first time, they always be like, that's the experience.
yeah, it was too much.
Yeah.
My experience has always been I laugh uncontrollably.
Yeah, you
for
took the right amount.
a long time.
That's a good, yeah, that's a good.
But I don't know what I'm
that's a
taking,
good
because like the first, I think not the first time, but like the second time I ever took it, it was cooked inside the food that we were eating.
That person just might have did it right because people don't be measuring. So if you eat the wrong part, you took too much and you out of there.
Yeah, okay, because I remember I was watching TV. I was just like, man, why is this nigga fingernails? And then we just started like, I just laughed at that for like 30 minutes straight, uncontrollably.
High shit be funny, bro.
I would, cause like there's some drugs where you're on them, like oh, I'm on, but then there's other drugs where you're off them. Oh, I'm off that.
I think
Like,
it's just
how do you? Is it an
terminology.
up or downer thing?
I think it's just terminology.
Yeah,
Like
but-
you're on coke, right? When you're
Because people
when
be
you're
like,
on
I'm
coke.
off that perk, but they never say I'm
But that's a downer
on.
though.
I don't know.
I think it might be an up or downer thing.
Maybe it
People
is.
say I'm off.
I'm
do
off
they
that-
say-
I'm off
But
that
when you
lean.
drunk,
They
you
say-
just
off that
drunk,
lean.
nigga. No, they say I'm off
Oh,
that. I'm off that
off that
vodka,
Henny, I'm
off that Henny. Yeah.
They don't
So
say
the
I'm on
downers.
that Henny.
But is,
Yeah.
but is alcohol a downer to everybody though? It's a downer to me.
I
But
think it's a downer to
how many
everybody.
things are people on? I feel like if somebody's on something, you're an addict.
Oh,
that nigga
Okay.
on crack. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
you don't
So
be like,
the-
I'm off that
on
crack.
it,
I think
yeah.
off is a good time, and on
office,
means
yeah,
you need
yeah.
to go rehab.
Okay,
nigga.
office,
Like-
okay.
So
I'm on E or I'm.
So for drugs, when you're on something, you're an addict. You're addicted. If you're off something, you're partying.
Now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it, yeah. Anytime somebody says that nigga on something, it's a negative.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
hey.
negative
Connotation to it.
We need to get him off it.
I'm not on it,
Yeah.
nigga. I'm off.
I'm off. No, I'm off this shit. I'm not on it.
I used to be on it.
But you
now
can't
I'm
be off smack.
Smack. I'm
You
on that.
can't.
I'm off
Who
that
says?
smack.
I guarantee
I don't
somebody.
think you can be off smack, bro.
Hey man,
Have you seen heroin? Heroin is not an off thing.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
think
partying on heroin,
if
bro.
you, because I used to call heroin that dog food. If you on that dog food, I think that there's no honor. I think there's no honor off.
You're just a junkie.
Yeah, you're gone. You're
Junkie.
You're just a junkie.
Have you ever seen somebody on that?
That's like, but that's also
Yes.
like this is a weird thought, but there's also like a certain freedom in that. Just like being a junkie, like I'm a junkie, and that's all I am.
They never fall.
I ain't got I don't have no other aspirations in life. I'm not trying to chase this. I'm a junkie.
Well, I think that there
I
is.
don't think they wanna be there.
Yeah, I think there's.
I think you have to have a level of acceptance.
I don't think so.
Nah,
I think they have moments
just-
where
they just lost.
they're depressed, and then
They
they're
just lost that life,
Yeah.
and they just like.
When they're
all
not
right.
But what if you never had a life? What if you've been
That's
a
what I'm
junkie
saying. They
since you were-
never. They just
Oh.
like I took an L. Like their life is an L.
But that's
you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
that's kind
It's
of
fucked
fun
up.
too, though. It's
No,
kinda
no, it's
fun.
just fucked up.
It's not fun.
It's kind of fun. in a
Nobody
way.
wants to be this
No,
nigga,
I
bro.
know. It's kind of fun in a way where like people who haven't been like strung out on drugs or whatever, and that's not like your life. You just like actually failed. You know what I mean? Like if you're addicted to drugs at a like and in your teenage years in your life, you know, whatever you miss out your whole
So
life.
what are you saying? You never had a chance?
Yeah, you never had a chance, but you can also be like, man, I could have did anything rather than like been
Oh, you can
completely
still
sober.
lie to
If I was,
yourself?
if I was never,
yeah,
I would have been the biggest
I
athlete.
could have been.
Yeah.
You
Nigga,
know what I mean?
if
star.
coach would have put me in.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Had I not gotten introduced to this, man, I could have been the president of the United States.
My mom wasn't on smack.
Rather than just be 40 working at Burger King. It's like, man,
I mean,
I just failed.
I mean, after a certain point in time, I don't think there's an excuse anymore. Like, it don't matter if you are a junkie or not. I think that, like, I think, you know,
Nah, addiction
that
is,
shit
yeah,
takes you.
that shit.
no, I'm not
that's
saying addiction's not
different.
real. I have addiction in my family. What I'm saying is that, you know, I think for me, I don't let the excuse keep going after a certain age. I think that at a certain point in time, as real as addiction is, it's like you have to look at something to lock into, whether it's family, but like, all right, I got to do this for
Some
somebody.
of them ain't got no.
Right,
family.
but that's
They ain't got
but
no-
that's very complicated, and that's
it is.
us looking at them. I'm talking
Right.
about them, their own their
Yeah.
ways. Of
Well, I
trying
mean,
to be at peace
I mean,
with it.
I'm going off family that I had
Yeah.
that were actually family, and I talked to them about that, and it was just like, you know, how do you lock in, and how do you be like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
It's so fucking hard. Like I can't even stress enough like how difficult that is because you're going into the world where you're trying to, you know, become a productive member of society, which is difficult in itself, but then you're also dealing with all this judgment from people. So it's easy to just escape all of that and just be around your people who fuck with you and accept you.
Well, yeah, you know, we were talking in the car earlier about when we were coming in here, and I was saying how like I don't like anything to control me, which is one of the reasons why I think like
You got married?
huh?
Yeah, you did.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. I think I do a pretty good job at like Janelle not having that control either.
Yeah.
But like, it may be because it came from my family's addiction to where it's just like I seen what it's done to them and how it controls them, and I was like, I don't ever want anything to ever control me like that.
Yeah.
So like I was telling Gary, when I was like trying to lock into the sauna and be like, all right, I want to stay in the sauna for a certain amount of time. I would like look at the clock and like look at the clock and feel like, damn, nigga, this shit is slow, man. I can't. It's taking forever. And I felt like the clock was running me, was controlling me because the clock was controlling like the time to me in the sense. Well, it is the time. And then I had to like lock it and be like, I'll never let this shit, like, fuck you bitch ass clock, nigga. Only 10 minutes.
Jesus, why
That's
is everything aggressive.
I grew up in that
That's
type
how
of
we get it. Yeah.
Everything.
That's
That's
just
how you end up beeping the horn 4 times, man.
Well,
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
hey, he beeped the horn tonight.
I did.
He beeped the horn.
I
tonight.
did. Rightfully
And
so,
I
though,
tell you-
Gary.
I tell you, it was
legit beep.
it was an honest beep.
Yeah,
Okay, what
man.
happened?
Yeah. Somebody tried to cut him off a Mercedes, a white Mercedes at
Oh,
that.
You know when I
Trying
see
to
something
cut him
white.
Wait, a
Yeah.
white driving a Mercedes or a white Mercedes?
Probably both.
Yeah, it could have been
Okay.
both,
Yeah.
which makes me even more angry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he did it. He did it with poise. He did it. He took a breath. He took a deep breath. I was like, this man's been doing the work.
Because it's never been this. That was hilarious. I was like, you know what's happening? When I did it, I looked at Gary. I was like, huh? Is that
Like,
fine?
yeah,
And
see?
Gary was like, that's not bad.
Pretty
That
good.
wasn't.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, I mean,
We're all about
guess-
growth here on Wildly Inappropriate. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
know what I mean?
but when it goes to that, I guess the reason why when I lock into that aggression, that helps me in a certain sense where it's just like, all right, when I say something like that, it's like me battling something.
Yeah, it becomes competitive.
Right.
You're not going to
Yeah.
defeat.
You're not gonna beat
I get
me.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
with you.
So that was my whole mentality. The same thing with like planking. It's like when I was planking, it was just like, damn, planking. You know, that shit just feels like the time slows down. And it's just like, all right, bitch ass playing nigga only 30 seconds. Like, all right, cool. So even when it came to addiction, it was just like, when it came to like me,
I've never called a plank a bitch. That's just
Just
not in
do
me.
it.
That's just not who I am.
you said you was enjoying it. But that's also too. I love how the different mentalities with certain things is like, you know, I would never tell somebody this is the way to do something the way I do it because I understand that my mentality is sometimes off the wall and it's not going to work for probably the majority of people. So I know for me, I just never wanted to be locked in and controlled by a substance. That's why I was just like, even when it came to like cats that get high before they go on stage or drink before they go on stage, I was just like, man, I can't. I don't even want to start that because if I feel like that's where all my funny is.
Yeah, I never wanted a crutch.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm good. Plus, I knew that honestly, I don't think that's my best. When me and Gary we used to run this show at a furniture store in Antioch, and we would drink wine. And he hosted the first half of the show. Nigga, by the time I got up,
You're out of there.
I'm blitzed. And I did it one time, and I was like, nah, nigga, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
Like, trying to remember my jokes, trying to do everything, I was like, bro, at that time in my career, too, I'm not even, like, yeah, I could go off the cuff and whatever, but not like I can't now. Like, now I don't need no set list. Now I can do whatever. But then I was like, man, I got to do these jokes, or I'm kind of, I'm just out here.
When you did Big Sky, doing that shit was kind of fun.
Big Sky is a comedy festival, and one of the nights
we did a set first for 5 minutes, and then you go on stage and say how many shots you want to take, and you just take as many shots as you want to take, or you take a rip of some like marijuana, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we wait a few minutes, and then everybody has to go do their sets again or do a different set, and you're usually high pretty quickly or drunk,
so they can see the difference.
Right. Yeah.
But see, so when I did that, like I ripped my drunk set, but I didn't like it. Like,
got you.
And I think it was only funny because the audience all knew we were fucked up. So I think too they were impressed that he's still keeping it like he can still do this drunk. But in my mind, I was like, this environment is fun.
Right.
However, if I'm at a real show, I do not want to feel like this doing this. It was
people didn't pay their tickets to come see you.
Yeah, like I was like, nah, this ain't it. Yeah, in an hour or two, like now, shit, I'm not doing a whole hour fucked up. But some people function like that.
It kind of makes sense a little bit, just considering what the audience is a lot of the times. Like, the audience is usually a little buzz, a little like, so kind of
everybody
on there like, okay, this is just, maybe some people can kind of get out of their head about the whole thing.
I mean, they're definitely doing it for a reason. I just, I don't need that reason.
I do some smack before I go on stage.
You'd be
leaning. Let me ask you this: could you date an addict if you were?
No.
It don't gotta be necessarily drugs. If you just like somebody that was just like, yo, they gotta get high every day on smoking weed.
No.
Jess rubs her hair all the time like this. She strokes her hair incessantly, and it like I can't stand it. I can't fucking stand it. Just nonstop. One time I was at like a dinner with her family, and there was like tension at the dinner, and then you could just see all of her sisters just fucking.
Oh, so it's
like a
response.
thing. Yeah,
they all do it.
All do it. I don't think that actually really happened. I think I wrote that in the script. I don't think that actually happened.
That all of them do it.
Like at a table.
You think you made that up?
I was like, what were we even talking about? Trump.
I mean, I dated a girl before that like after work she had to get high.
Yeah, I'm good.
And she was dope too. Like everything about her was like she was a dope chick. She was wifey material too. Like she was
Dope
like
chick on dope.
And then, but then that was the thing that kept me at bay. It was just like, yo, and she's like, I just got to I
See,
love
that's
it.
the thing that I'm like, if you was like, you want to get high, but when it's like, I got
Nobody
to.
has ever said that.
When it's I got to, because there's levels. Like,
yeah, for sure.
There's like, yeah, I'm about to pop this edible, but when he's like, I need to pop this edible, nigga, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't think you say it like that either. You be like, I'm about to go pop this edible, and then you just say that 3 nights in a row. It's like, really, again.
But I don't like if you said don't do it. But, all right, you know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah.
The way he's describing it, you have to do this when you get off work. That's a problem.
It was like literally
Work
like
be stressful, man.
Dude,
and I understand that, but that was my thing. Was like if work is that stressful, that the fact that like essentially when I'm with you now, you're not gonna ever be sober. That's one for somebody who came from a family that lived like that. It was just like I can't be now with a girl that's like that because it's just like it is going to affect me, and two,
also
like,
what's next? Smack.
Yeah, smack.
I mean, I like actually I think that we still might follow each other on social media. I don't think she's like maybe she is on some other shit now, but like I think we're talking about too. It's just like I also too don't want to feel like when we're even having sex like all the time like it's always like you're always high. So are you even enjoying this? Like,
yes, she's definitely enjoying it. She's high, nigga. Absolutely.
She's enjoying it. But I guess what I'm saying is
I was reprimanded for that recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're every time we have sex, you're like high, and I was like, yeah.
Feels crazy.
It's like it feels so much better, and just our process, we're so efficient with it. Things just move quickly. Like and I was like, she's like, I feel like I'm having sex with somebody else. I was like, me too. This is amazing. This is
we're stuck with each other. Let me have
unbelievable.
This.
You know what?
No, but I said it's a catalyst. It heightens the experience the same way
I agree
your
with her
vibrators do.
I agree with her on like we don't need to do this every time.
No, not us, just me. I'm the only one.
But I'm saying like her. She's like, nah, let's.
Let's
no,
you got your vibrator that enhances the experience.
That shouldn't be done every time either.
Oh well.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
hey, get that. Will it make it happen faster?
Like, what happens when she ain't got that or you ain't got
the battery died? She's like,
he's like,
no.
Just having trash sex,
scratching.
Pulling your nigga the whole time you're in there.
Anybody
she's
got a
stroking her hair,
vibrator?
nigga.
So how do you in the streets scratching?
How do you even know if the sex is good with each other if you're always high and she's always using?
I'm not always high.
Okay.
I'm high, like, and obviously, like,
I love how we started this episode like, how often do you do it? Not that much. I just got reprimanded for doing it too much.
I would say, like, because I go long.
Why would I rub my
stretches.
feet on Eddie's couch?
Yeah, I go long stretches without doing it ever.
Yeah,
like at all. But if I have a bag, you
know what's funny? The first time I ever did an edible. The first time I ever had sex on an edible, I remember the first thing I did was I ate vagina. And bro, I felt
I've never.
What?
This nigga said I ate vagina.
Damn,
Who are you? Are you feeling like because we attack you on the aggressive talk so much?
No, it was just so. It was so proper.
Now he eats vagina. Now.
It was so proper.
All right, when I ate the puss, nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Eat the pussy like a man.
When I was muff diving.
Yeah. But it was funny when I was going down on her. It was like I felt like I fell into her vagina. Like it was, and I was like I went into the universe. Yeah, and I started to see like stars and space. I was like, man, I'm like in the universe right now. Like
some anime shit.
The pussy just turned into the fucking universe, and this shit was incredible.
Man, I want to take my edible, man.
Yeah, and I was just like, I feel like
I just had another.
That's up.
Yeah.
And I want to go get mine.
And
I have so much.
Really?
And I don't even know.
Really?
I don't even know if I was eating the pussy good. Like I don't even know if I was, but I felt like, and she was also high too. But it was like,
see that at that point it don't matter.
Yeah.
Both was like, this is great. What if the whole time you were just licking the sheets and she was playing with herself and neither one of you niggas knew what was going on? You like, this is amazing.
That's so fun. That's so fun.
But yeah, I mean that's my thing. It's like, and I guess too is like my experience with drugs also is why I'm so, I don't want to say I'm against it, but I am when it comes to dating somebody. I am like, hey, I can't. There was a point in time I was like, I don't think I can even date somebody that's doing anything for real. I dated an alcoholic before, everything.
I didn't mind it. I think it's different too, especially considering like where weed culture has kind of evolved to. Like I've dated girls who like kind of smoke every day, but it's not like
you don't notice the difference between.
Yeah, you don't really notice a difference.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I thought about this. Well, early in the episode when he said it, but I was thinking about it today when he said we're about growth. I know he was joking, but I thought about it and like. If you guys were back single, right, like back in the dating world, with the growth you have now, how hard do you think it would be for you to date? And do you think you could date your current person that you've grown with, but let's say you met them now, so you don't have the same patience, all that stuff. Do you think you could date the same person now with your own growth and where you're at now?
What you got? Of course.
The answer to the second.
It's funny because my vantage point is not the same as yours, so I can just see him. So
the whole process.
This is all I see, right? So you're me. I just keep seeing this.
Nigga look like he's stealing. What you got there, Keenan?
You know what?
Yeah, he's doing smack. That's what the smack. That's what they do when you're on smack.
You know what's funny? We shot Squadcast recently, right? Last week, and on Squadcast I can do the same thing. But I don't want to wipe it on camera. So I always just lean off camera a little bit, like I'm grabbing something. But it's so funny. So but to answer your question, the second half of your question, I'll answer that first. I can for sure date my wife now because I feel like
nigga said, what's her name?
I didn't know I started for real.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm fucking with you.
I can for sure date her right now because I feel like the growth that we both have is like I met her in a growth stage to where I was like like I said, I dated the weed girl, I dated the alcoholic, I dated all these people. I was like, I can't be with this anymore. And so I was like, I feel like right now we're matching better than ever. So if I met her now and she's this way also, I think we would click even faster than we probably.
But this is the thing. This is why I asked. Do you think y'all would have had the growth you had without each other? So like, let's say like you're who you are now, but you meet her back where she was back then. Do you think you could date her?
Oh, so she hasn't made.
She hasn't made her. So when you first met her and you're where you're at now, do you think you guys would be dating?
I think we would made it. That would be our probably we were as tough because I feel like right now, but like I'm not putting up with certain things.
Like what?
Whether it's just certain type of like things that like attitude or just like just to like the like
ain't gonna be no back talk.
Like early on, I felt like she wasn't in a whole bunch of relationships. Sometimes it was kind of like I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, all right, then don't do it then. Like,
yeah.
It's just like and I guess the answer, the first half of your question was if you're out here, how hard would dating be? Bro, I feel like right now, if I was single right now, because I think about that sometimes, I'd be like, bro, if I was out here right now and have the way I see like even women speak online, I was just like, I'll be doing a lot of masturbating, or I'll just be doing a lot of just smashing and not talking. I'm just like, I'm not dealing with the mentality of somebody that's immature at this particular point in time. I'm just like, I'm not dealing with that shit. Like I feel like I'll be very difficult to date at this stage because I'm like, I'm gonna call you out. Like I was already at a stage where I was calling people out. Like, I don't like you doing that right now. Oh wow, I didn't know I was. Yeah, you are. So now where I'm at now, I'm not gonna bite my tongue for shit.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be very difficult for me to date right now.
What about you?
Could I be with a white woman?
Well,
still, or her specifically.
Her specifically.
Oh, okay.
Both. I want to know both now.
And then anything. I mean, who would you know who you are now? So could you date her where she was?
Where she
first
was?
Met her, when you first met her, and then.
Could you date a white?
I could still date her, and I could still date a white. I'm sorry.
Gary's got no growth, y'all. He's at. I'm joking, bro.
Even with all the therapy, has she not done any of that? I think I could have, because I'm not like I sort of adapt to people and kind of meet them where they are. So it would have been one of those like kind of edging along. We would have still had our conflict, but.
Right.
Yeah, I think I deal with people. I deal with bullshit well for some reason. I don't know why. Like I don't think I've ever broken up with anybody. Like things either like fizzled out or they ended it. I don't think I've ever like ended a relationship.
Oh, you'll hang in there.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
marriage material.
I'll be on some bullshit, but like I'll never like when I used to fuck around a lot, I would always be like I operate like a youth football team. I don't cut players. I'm not cutting nobody. If y'all want to quit, I'll run you to the ground and make you quit. But I'll drive you crazy.
Is crazy.
I'll drive you crazy.
That's funny.
But I don't cut players.
I'm with Gary. I think I've only broken up with one girl. Everybody else is kind of like I've kind of
fizzled out ultimatum.
I was cutting niggas before they even made the
that's
team.
all funny. Yeah. Ain't no tryout. Invites
bro.
only.
Hell no. Facts, bro. Facts. You didn't get that invite. You ain't coming to this camp.
Don't touch this grass.
It's for the elite.
But what about you, Keon?
Where I'm at now, if I met Kadi then, like when we first,
then?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. We would not. I'd be like, she bad, and I'd want to smack. But as far as, no. We've done so much growth together that, now, we're good. But, nah. But then, I thought about it. I think part of the growth that we've helped each other grow. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know if I would be where I'm at
without her,
without my family, without, like, I don't know. If let's say I was just single out here still, no kids, I don't even know where I would be because I haven't been through certain things to have to deal with certain stuff to, grow in this manner. I think I would have grew anyway just with age and stuff. But as far as like how much time I take now before responding versus, and that's all because of having a wife and kids. It's all because, but if I was just single and I'd be firing off whatever comes to mind. But now I take so many beats before I respond to something, and I catch myself. But that's just from having a wife and kids. So I don't know where I'd be, but I do know 26-year-old, absolutely not. I could.
Do you think now? I guess to flip the question, do you think Kati would be able to? Do you think she would stay with you or deal with you if she had her growth and
where
you
she's
were at where you're at?
Where I was at then, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because especially back then, for me, I was so, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, like I don't think she probably would have been like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I don't think she would have took the time to like, I ain't dealing with you, waiting for you to mold into the guy. Even though I was still like, I think she would have had more chances to meet good guys. Versus back then, she was like, man, I ain't never had this.
Right.
Versus now, I'm pretty sure she would have met some cool dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I don't think Jess would have been with me, like, where she's at now versus where I was at, like, then. Because we didn't mesh initially. Like, we knew each other for a long time, and we was hooking up or whatever. We were just friends whenever she was in a relationship or what have you. But it was never, like, it just wasn't, like, right. You know what I mean? And even when we were, like, together, and she was, like, planning to move out here and stuff, and I was like, there's just something, like, I just don't feel it. I don't feel like I know you well enough, you know, and I don't know if it's like not more to you, like maybe this is it, but like I feel I need something deeper. And we didn't like get that until truly like until we started doing therapy and she was able to kind of open herself up. For that, I was like, I still like we got pilots here. Like I was like, I still feel something like missing in terms of us like really knowing each other and really being vulnerable with each other.
That's why because I think about that, like how many people can truly grow on their own. I mean, I feel like you need some kind of catalyst.
Absolutely.
I think you need something, but I think I definitely was on my journey before, like I said, before I met her. And I think her and I met at a time that was like we were both on a growing journey. Because we say this all the time. We was like, if we would have met like even like a year and a half or so beforehand, it would have been like, she's like, I was in a whole different mindset. She's like, we would have just fucked and been like, all right, deuces. I was like, probably so. And then, now that I think about it, like, even if I think she would have stayed with me too, just because when we met, our first date was like 6 hours. Yeah. We talked for like 5 to 6 hours straight on the beach. We just talked about everything, life. We went in our families, fucking universe, weird shit. Like we just had a good time, and that's the space that we were at that time when we first met. We weren't on some fuck boy, fuck girl shit or whatever the case may be. So I think that we just kind of happened to meet at a time when we were both. Of course, we're still growing every single day, but we were like we were already in a growing stage.
Yeah, me and Kati barely made it. Like as far as the window, I think if she catches me just a year earlier, it's over.
You know what's funny? It's like we talk about this all the time, but like when he had brought Kati around and we was in the Bay Area, we went to the seafood spot and we was all eating in San Francisco or whatever. And I guess Keon, I didn't know he didn't eat seafood, so we're all eating and Keon's kind of just like not having a good time for real. And we're like, hey, man, Keon, why you not? And he's like, she knows I don't like seafood. And I remember we were just cracking up laughing. And I remember just being like, I was like, I wonder is Keon done? Like, I wonder is he just fed up?
Like, but I didn't realize she was hosting.
Right. Yes.
So she's trying to make a good impression on my friends.
Right.
So she's ordering for the table. She had been at the spot. And they loved everything they was like, this is great.
We had a great time.
So she's ordering. She's in her.
Oh, it was in San Francisco.
Yeah, it is in the San Francisco.
Okay.
Right up the street from Purple Onion.
Okay. I thought you just meant just like hosting.
Nah. So she was trying to make a good impression, and I'm like, nigga, I'm hungry. And that's another thing too. We had just left the Purple Onion. We had did the show. We were starving.
Yeah, we were.
So I'm watching her order, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to eat, nigga? And I'm already hangry. You know what I mean? It was a lot going on, but she's trying to make a good impression, and they're like, bro, you got to keep this one.
Yeah,
she's great.
We love Kati.
And they know me for having them. And they was like, nah, bro, I think this is it, bro. You good. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm
no disrespect to the other ones.
You know what I mean?
No
big
disrespect to them.
They weren't good enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Big disrespect.
Good women. Good, and I wish y'all the best.
Let me ask you this: do you guys?
I do wish them the best though.
Do you guys?
They just weren't for me. They weren't bad people. They just weren't for me.
Yeah.
They weren't for me.
Do you guys feel like you have to impress the friends of your significant other?
No.
Or even the parents?
Nope.
No.
I was never.
I do really well with parents too.
That's the thing. I never felt that need because I know I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm gonna kill it.
I felt like I always did well with parents also, but when it came to their friends, I was just like, I don't really care to really impress y'all like that.
Yeah.
Like, cause
I didn't. I didn't impress her friends.
They didn't like you.
I don't know. They, me. He's so quiet. Why did he talk? Or, I think she was more worried about what her friends thought than I. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care what your friends think. I'm not dating your friends.
That was
care.
That's always been my mentality. I remember like even with Janelle, she was kind of like, man, like what happens? She's like, I remember she said like, what happens if my parents don't like you? I said, I don't really care for real. I'm not.
That's different because parents they in for the long haul. Friends come and go.
That's true
like
too.
that.
But I was like, one, I was confident that her parents would like me because I'm with Gary. Like I've never had a bad parent experience.
I've never bonded with a parent.
Never.
Especially a dad. I'd be fucking murdering it with the dad.
I'm okay with dads. I crush with moms.
I crush with the dads.
Crush with moms.
Yeah, I know when to do the joke. Like I know. Even my friends like my homegirl. I remember the first time I went over her house, Danae. I went over her house, and her dad is fucking massive.
Yeah.
And he was watching a Laker game, blah blah. Her mom's cooking food, blah blah. And as far as he's concerned, I'm just some dude she bring to the house. Even though that's just my homie.
Yeah.
So the game on, he was like, "You a Laker fan?" I said, "No. I mean, if that's okay with you, I don't. What you want me to be? He cracking up. I'm like, I'm in your house, trying to fan. I raised my voice. He dying, and from then on, he's like, I like that dude.
Yeah.
Like from the gate. So I would always with dads, it was sports and cracking a joke, and then they'd be like, just from the vibe, they'd be like, he got it. He come from a good home. We straight. Like
I just never I've always done well, but I was just like I didn't really care because even I know she was like, what if your mom or your dad doesn't like me? I said we're at a point now where I love you, so the fact that I love you, that's the most important thing. Yeah. If my parents truly hate you, I'm gonna need to have a discussion with them and see why they hate you. Yeah. Because it's like there's nothing about you that why they should hate your guts. Like if you just like,
well, look at this on kid. They pull up all kind of files and shit.
Now my dad, on the other hand, he has expressed to me on a few different occasions when I was dating the girl, he was like, "Bitch, a cum dumpster, nigga. You need to get out of here, nigga." You know what I'm saying?
I gotta hear your dad's real voice.
You don't even talk like that.
You don't?
He kind of talks like that.
A little bit, yeah.
It's not as deep. But when my dad gets in the zone of like that, this discussion about like women and stuff like that,
it fired up.
That is how he talks.
His dad makes me laugh.
But my dad, when he's just chilling, he's gonna, hey, how you doing, son? You good, son? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of just like that. But when it comes about the bitches, he's like, hey, nigga, shoot, shit, nigga.
Flip a switch.
Yeah. When he coming to visit again, man? I ain't seen him in a minute.
They were supposed to come out here in November because he usually comes out here for the military ball, but they didn't make it out here for whatever reason. I think because
when the baby on the way.
Nah, I think because they had. I think remember Georgia had like some weird storm, and they like my dad's the garage got crushed, his truck got crushed. He had to rebuild all this shit at the crib, so he's just like he didn't want to spend the money to come out here, but he'd probably be back out here this year.
Yeah. Gunny side.
Yeah. What about you, Gary? Did you try to, especially from an interracial standpoint? Do you feel like it's different? Do you feel like it's whatever, or it's the same?
What, the relationship?
No, when it comes to the parents, like having to impress the parents or the family or the friends.
With the dad, I don't really like trust white dudes like that. You know what I mean? It's just like a weird.
Yes.
It's a weird
you gotta explain for it. I understand.
It's a weird. I think I asked her, do white dads do they know they're corny? Or are they like playing it straight and they just happen to be corny? Or are they in on the joke? Like, I know this is a corny thing I'm about to say. Like, are you aware of that?
Like doing whether it's like a dad joke or just like
just like dad jokes. Like, do you believe that this is like funny, or are you like doing the dad joke because you're a dad and this is a dad joke? I don't know. I need to know if it's like satire. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know
fucking with me?
if y'all parodying yourself.
Yeah. Specifically white dads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because white dads are like, notorious for saying the corniest shit.
Yeah. I don't think, you know what?
Are they aware? I
don't think they acting, because like just my interactions like after shows and just my interactions with them, I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
I'd be like, why? Like, what? And it's partially a older man thing anyway, I think. Because, there's been some older black guys where I'd be like, nigga.
It might just be, too, they're in a particular profession where they're just like, they might not be as immature in the sense of like, silly and goofy as us, but it's like, hey, have you seen the,
and maybe they,
like that type of
now,
stuff.
I will say that I think, and I'm just guessing here and spitballing based on experiences, but I think dads who also have mostly daughters, and then now you're this dude, I think they want you to like them.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause my homegirl, I used to go over her house all the time, and it's all girls. And her dad was excited when I came over. Like, he wanted to show me all the shit and like blah blah. And he wasn't corny, but it was just like, he was like, "Oh, you're here!" Like another male. Like, God damn, I spent all day with them. I don't give a fuck what. And he would, I'm saying, talk my head off, and I would just sit there and take it. But I think he was just happy. So I think that's where the corny comes from, especially as a white guy talking to a black dude. It's like
they're like trying.
Yeah, he's trying.
And you can see it. Like, oh, you're like trying.
He's trying.
Yeah.
You should get high with him one day and be like, hey, you ain't gotta do that shit.
Yeah.
See what he says.
Her dad is cool. I'm just talking about like other dad. Her dad is dope. He's a cool dude. They come down on him pretty hard, but he's a solid dude, bro.
He has no sons?
He has one son.
Okay.
And then one son and 5 daughters.
See? Yeah, I know.
Shit.
The boy is the oldest, and then just all girls. She's third.
Number.
All girls.
Oh, she's a middle. Big middle.
Why do they keep going?
And I think they lost one. They just don't believe in birth control.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say after
and they're all pro-life,
pro-life. Oh, once I got the son, and I got 2 daughters. I'm like, we can stop here. I'm not gonna keep going after this. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think the youngest one was like the biggest surprise.
Oh,
like, wait, what? Yeah, again, Mama, you're like 42.
Yeah.
Back then, that was like
that's great.
Yeah, the moms and the dads have always liked me. I dealt with one dad that was just like, he gangbanged, and he was the only one that I felt like, because I've had dads try to do like a little bit of the intimidation role, like, and I kind of just sit there like, all right. But this particular dude, he was from a certain neighborhood. I'm just like, I gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I remember he was like, hey man, I ain't gonna do nothing to ever hurt you, but if anything ever happens to my daughter, man, I got a couple young people that know how to handle business, and I don't think I ever had to call them because you sound like you're a great guy, but I'm just letting you know, just
put it out there. And he was so calm with it.
Yeah,
like,
he was he was super
I'm dead
calm.
ass, bro.
He was super calm.
What's the scenario though, where like?
I think putting my hands on her.
Okay.
It wasn't even like about.
Is it just like some shit that she tells her side of the story?
Right.
And it's like that wasn't even accurate. That ain't even what happened. And you trying to explain it to the girls?
I feel like, and I don't have daughters, but I've witnessed this, and maybe you can speak on it. But I feel like dads who have daughters be knowing.
Yeah.
When they bullshit, when they full of shit.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
But
we gotta rough you up a little bit.
Man, what I mean? Especially like with married couples, I see this all the time. Especially if y'all got time in.
Yeah.
The parents will side with whoever right. There's no more like you my baby. If I was tripping, my mom and dad would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like my wife's a daddy's girl for like to the T, right? So her dad really don't be saying too much. But like with her brother and her mom, when like if Janelle like does something or whatever the case may be, they be looking at her like, man, Keenan, you must. I'm glad you was able to kind of deal with this. I'm like, I be like, hey man, I'll be real with you. Maybe because I run a tight ship, but I was just like, a lot of shit I don't allow this around me. Like it doesn't.
She do this around y'all.
Yeah, for real. Or it's just like
show punk ass over.
It's like the baby wasn't acting like that till y'all came in here.
But it was just like, and then like, with her dad, she's very, very like she makes sure like I can tell like she doesn't want to disappoint her father, so she does certain things that she doesn't do. Like she keeps a tight ship around her dad.
No, once you're family, they be like Cotty's sisters when Cotty be on her shit, they be like, you know how she is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and I just be laughing. Or when they get around each other, nigga, it's the funniest thing ever. Because I'm just like the one male. Well, not anymore. Now her sister just had a baby. Her other sister's married. So now I'm not the only dude anymore.
Yeah.
So the newest guy, when they get going, he be looking at me like this. I'm like, oh yeah, like lock in. This is gonna be entertaining. Get your popcorn. This is gonna be entertaining as shit. He's like, they always do this. I'm like, yeah. This is. It's 4 girls.
Me and Corey almost got into a fight last year, in front of Janelle, like in front of the whole family actually. And I remember Janelle was just like, and my dad was just like, he was disappointed more at me because he's like, nigga, you've been in therapy, son. Like I've seen you react in ways to where you was able to check it and then get it done. Yeah. And I wasn't even on the sense of like I was about to fight him. I started. He wanted to fight me, and I just kept antagonizing him. So I just kept going like, "Yeah, oh, for real, oh, okay."
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, and then my dad was just like, "Why are you doing this?" I mean, was just like, "Just stop, Keenan. Why are you doing? Stop it! You don't gotta keep saying something." I think I do gotta keep saying something. That's what I think I gotta do. I gotta keep talking right now. And I just kept pushing his buttons. And I remember she was just like,
"Was your brother yelling?"
Oh, he got up on a chair, pushed the chair down, and I'll fire on you right now, nigga. I was just like, well, fire on me then. Like I said, so you want to fight me in front of children because you were wrong about some. We were playing Uno.
Love it.
It's called like it's a different type of Uno. It's like Uno, not threats, but like
threats. Uno fist.
But essentially, like it's like draw 10s in there, draw 20s in there.
Yeah, that
like
ridiculous
Uno Mercy or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to like he kept getting the rules wrong. We're just like we're going offline. We're looking online. Like that's not the rule. That's not the rule. He's like, and then he just lost it at one point. I was just like, nigga, like, what are you gonna do? Like you want to fight? I was like, you're not gonna beat me up. Like especially in front of my wife. I was like, I'm not losing. But I was like, I was like, this nigga says he has a PhD. This is crazy. He's losing his mind right now. Like I'm just trying to piss him off even more. And it was just, I remember she was just like, just stop. Just seeing this rage. And it was
the first time you see your spouse's family's bullshit, you're like, oh. it's like, because you're not, that ain't your, you see your family bullshit. When you see somebody else's, you're like, oh, this is different.
But I don't know if Kati prepped you, but I also, or whatever, but I know I prepped her. I was like, when you ever meet my mom, this is how my mom is. If my dad has done a lot of work, but this is the level that he has. And then I said, this is my brother's level. And then you seen my level. So like just understand that when you get around this, these things can possibly spark off at some particular point in time. Just be aware of that.
Damn, I'm just thinking about that. I've exposed that girl to so much shit
compared to
that
her.
She couldn't even like fathom like that this would be like real life. Like I can't. I'm now thinking back. Like the first Christmas when Pilot was like just born. He was like 3 months.
The first time,
bro. The first Christmas, my sister walks in. Obviously before she passed. Yeah. But she walks in with like gifts. Like this is her first Christmas at my house. My sister walks in. My sister never has gifts. She walks in this year with gifts. None of it's wrapped. She's like, Gary, I think these shoes can fit you. Like, it's like, I got this for the baby. Yeah. It's shit that's like half ripped open. Like, it's all a bunch of stolen shit. And my mom is like acting like so excited. My mom funny as fuck, but she's like acting like she's excited about it. Like, oh my God, look at what Tisha bought all the kids. She brought a belt. Like, my mom is cooking. She put the belt around my mom. Like, I think this fits you.
That's hilarious. It's all stolen.
Jess is just like, what is going on?
Kati, with my family stuff, Kati just thinks it's funny. That she doesn't like, I don't think she's ever had a moment where she's just like, whoa. She's entertained.
Yeah.
Like, she's not like ever, because I mean, she's seen some shit. People pulling their teeth out of their pocket. When they eat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people showing up high.
Yep.
And,
a lot of that.
And not high on off that smack.
Smack.
But Keon family's a good time though. Like I've been
it's like it's such a good time. It's like even when it gets when it gets wild, you're just all the sane people are just laughing at the ridiculousness. Like it's just like, oh, that nigga high, bro.
It's funny because your family is bakers also too, right?
My mom and them, yeah.
I wonder. We gotta do some deep dives, man. I wonder if there's some type of blood.
There ain't no way based on your athleticism.
Well, that's
you
my
ain't a
mom's
part
side.
of my goddamn fit. Oh, your mom.
The polies were all the athletes.
Oh, okay.
My mom's side.
I'm athletic, nigga. I'm highly.
My mom's side is. I heard my uncle played baseball and he was good at it, but apparently, the LA streets back then didn't matter.
Yeah.
Apparently, well. I guess even the way my mom and all them said, my papa was a very like he was there, paid bills, loved the kids, all that. But as far as like encouraging, he didn't say it. So like I remember when I stayed with him, he was like, man, he could hit that ball, man. He could hit that. I don't know why he quit. And then my mom
like,
and them,
you.
my mom and them versions like, you never told him.
Yeah.
You never told him that you liked watching him play. You never told him
That
he was
all
good.
would have helped.
You never.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there telling me like, I mean, man, he was good. And he just quit. And I'm like, you didn't.
To no
pour
fault of his
into
own.
him.
He didn't know.
He had to drop out of school. He don't
He
know.
was never encouraged to keep going with sports, maybe too.
Yeah. Kept according to him, he was amazing. You know what I mean, he was hella athletic, blah blah blah. But yeah, he dropped out eighth grade, I think, something like that. You know.
Do you think that's a big thing? Why do you think children can make it without support? Like the child can be like, "Hey, man, I got that dog in me, dog. I don't need you to be like, son, you got it, or daughter, you can."
It can work. It can work in different ways. So you're trying to earn his approval. So you're doing more and more, just trying to get his attention and get his approval.
So you think it's so? That's the thing.
It can work both ways, or you could just shut down and
quit. It's never good enough, and then just quit.
If you're weak,
I want to say, you're
because you're weak. Because
I would say if like you're a star, or if you're like you're good, and your father's just always like, you'll just never be great though, and it's like, I'm gonna be the greatest ever.
Yeah.
But I think
better and better and better.
I think that you can, as a kid, I think you can tell the difference of somebody trying to push you and somebody who really this nigga really don't believe in me. Right. And but even that I'm gonna stick it to him. Yeah. To show him, but like, are you having fun with it or whatever? Like, and both my grandparents didn't do a good job of the encouragement. My dad wanted to do all kinds of stuff. My grandpa, that's soft. You don't do that shit. You don't blah blah. Or these niggas said, I wanted to go to the science club. This nigga told me. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. So do you think the kid has a better chance for you to kind of like be aggressively unencouraging, like, yeah, you'll never make it, or to just leave? Because those kids do well too sometimes.
Wait. What are the two?
You talking about or be a deadbeat?
Yeah, like, you know what? I'll just leave, and then you might make it. Like, you got the LeBrons out there, you got the like, these athletes,
but you got to put them in an environment to do that, and like, it's a lot. I think it's the person. It's case by case.
Case by case.
Yeah.
Like,
you ever think of how much more funnier you would be if your dad wasn't around?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't be.
How much more shit you would have though?
Because him being there, he's half my material, and he was there, nigga. Like he was.
He was making fun of him.
He was so easy to talk about. He does so much shit.
Okay.
It's like this nigga gives you new shit to this day. He gives you new shit all the time because it's just like you were just a mess. So.
But also too, your life would be different too in the sense of, it's like, if would he even be doing stand up? Like, it's like Keon being the oldest might have had to be the man of the house.
Different responsibilities. Different. I probably would have dove even harder into sports.
Try to make
get the fuck out of there. Yeah. Because we probably wouldn't have moved into the neighborhoods we moved into because it's only one income, So I'm probably. But then again,
you would have been a hood nigga Keon.
Then that's not good.
That'd been crazy.
I don't think that's a good look. Because I'm like this from the suburbs, nigga. So that's not good,
bro. Hood nigga Keon would be hilarious, bro.
That wouldn't have been a good time, I don't think, for anybody.
Who bought these drugs? Ew, nigga. Give me some better drugs, nigga.
I think, but I don't. But then again, I don't know if I might have ended up like some of my homies who didn't have the dads who was just like, I ain't doing that shit, nigga. I'm about to go do this.
Yeah,
much easier to get
because my dad actually kept me in line to do the sports as well. Mm-hmm. So I think, especially with school, nigga, I don't know what kind of grades I would have got without him and his rules. Like you I don't care what the school say. You got to keep this, or I'm gonna take you off the team. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Yep. If I'm with my boys and shit, and what they was doing, I'm like, nigga, what I need to play? A 1.4? Yeah. Nigga, I'm getting a 1.4.
They need a 1.4 to play.
Back then, no, you need
2.0.
We need a 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0.
I know. For my dad just let off fear. It was my dad was legit. Like, when we had friends that were on the other side of the tracks like that, it was like, it's either deal with them or deal with me. And I was just like, all right. This is a trained Marine, and these are some niggas that are very untrained, which could be
I gotta
scary
go home
also.
Every day to this nigga.
Yeah, and then it's just like my dad knows how to like discipline us in ways that I don't like being disciplined, like military ways. So it's just like I'd rather just
this nigga waterboarding.
Torture chamber.
There was point in time where it's like, all right, nigga, we're gonna go for a long ass run, and just like we just went for a run, and just like, nigga, like stop. Like my legs aren't developed enough to keep doing this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, I mean, besides getting, you know, that's when he tried to stop beating us, but he went back to beating us after that. So.
Keenan started getting his wind up. He was like, you know
what?
what?
Yeah.
I gotta hit you again.
No, what happened was it was push-ups. Push-ups is what I got into. I started doing push-ups, and he saw me doing push-ups on my own. He was just like, all right, this nigga likes this. I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah.
I remember going from whoopings to punishment. And then it's like, nigga, going to punishment from whoopings is like this is not a consequence at all.
Yeah.
You know, this is easy work. But then she saw that wasn't working, and then there was a little period where I was getting whoopings and punishment, and I was like, nigga, this is overkill. This is too much. I feel like this is this is wrong.
My dad was so good at punishments because he knew what we liked.
Yeah.
Like the punishments weren't created equal. They were what you like, I'm taking that.
Yeah.
And so that's why for me they worked, because that's why, you know, I had the whole nerd joke.
Yeah.
For him it was hard, but for me, he knew, like, especially high school, only thing this nigga want to do is hoop and talk to these girls. So you can watch all the TV you want. You can go outside. That phone is done, nigga.
Yeah.
You're not, the parties is done, nigga. You know what I mean? Like that. And I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And that was the worst. Like, I remember he grounded me mid talk to one of the baddies at the school, bro. Like, I finally got the number. He didn't know I was talking to her though.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm talking to her. The nigga took the phone. You know, in high school, you don't talk for a week, nigga. It's over.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And so I remember he saw her at the school. He was like, she said, "What's up?" or whatever, and he was like, "Man, why you don't talk to her?"
You, nigga.
I said I was. And he took the phone away. Oh, nigga, if I would have known you was talking, I would have did something else, bro. Cause you. And I was like, so he knew what to take from me specifically, because I didn't have a lot of things that I liked.
Yeah.
I only had a few things. So, okay, that's done. And then what else do I have? Like, I don't have, that's all I care about. I don't. So he was just good at that. So that's what I do. Like, with them,
your brother go outside.
Yeah, he make him go outside. Go outside. Go do something.
I don't care where he goes.
Yeah,
don't
just
come back here.
Go be outside, and Keith would be like,
I ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
I bring my books.
Just
I
let
don't
me
know the whole
read.
time.
Yeah,
Where I'm supposed to go?
I don't know how to play with people. Why would I play?
But you know what's funny? My dad just took away everything. It was just like, it wasn't just out. Like, I love outside too, and basketball, girls, all that stuff. He's just like, you get nothing, nigga. Like, you're gonna stay in the house, and I'm gonna beat you, and then
What else? What else do I have?
and then at one point in time, this is honestly more than anything I hated the most, more than even beatings. This nigga would put me in a corner. This nigga started putting us in a corner, nigga. I fucking hated that shit.
Just like looking at the corner?
You had to look, because he would keep us there for so long, and then this nigga would play, like, he would put on like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, nigga. And so now,
I'm that's
like,
torture.
And now I'm down the hall, and I can barely hear it, but I know he's watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm just sitting there like this, and he would keep us there for over an hour sometimes, nigga. And he'd be like, "Yo ass, bitch, I be looking around that fucking corner, nigga." And I'd be sitting there against the wall, just. It was like
psychological shit.
Psychological than a motherfucker. I was like, just beat me, nigga. I'd rather you.
That's what he was. But the funny part is, you know, like, especially as a dad now, you know, I'm doing it so this corrects behavior.
Yeah.
Why do I still have to do? I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to have to do this. Like, you niggas won't get right.
I'm thinking of other ways to just like up the ante on that. Like, he just like looking in the corner, he just staring in the corner, just like a trail of ants. He's like, you better not touch those ants.
Let him live. My dad was good. But the thing is, his punishments never lasted long.
2 weeks was the longest I've ever been on punishment.
Yeah.
What?
Like a week or two, yeah.
2 weeks.
Keith was on, that nigga stayed on punishment.
Nigga, I was on punishment for a year one time.
Yeah, Keith was
what
about
that look like?
Well, because my dad, a lot of my punishment came from grades. It was very rarely anything else. So
and it's compound. You're gaining compound interest on these punishments.
Yeah. So it's like when a report card would come in, and it's like my dad said nothing lower than a C. So if I get a D or F, I'm on punishment. And I just like, nigga, I was getting.
You couldn't even get a C.
Nigga, or you can get a C?
No.
So C's he let me pass through, but he still like be like, get it up. But nigga, I was getting I remember it was 6th grade. My whole 6th grade year, I was on fucking punishment because I kept failing history and I kept failing math. I failed it throughout the whole fucking year.
You were failing them?
I was failing them.
Sheesh.
And I was in class. Like, I wasn't ditching.
Yeah.
So I'm present. I'm in class. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I just wasn't doing the homework for real. I just wasn't turning stuff in. I was distracted by girls in class. I was always clowning and talking too much. And so he just kept me. He's like, every time you get a fail, nigga, it's like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So my friends used to come up to the window and be like, hey,
So you couldn't go anywhere, and then what about within the house?
Within the house, I had to pretty much. I couldn't watch TV at all.
So you spent the whole year without watching TV?
I mean, my dad's a single father, so when he's not there, my dad, he pretty much like when I would get off school, I would get home. If I got home super early, he wouldn't get home till like 6. So now I'm in the house, and that would be my 2 hours or 3 hours watching TV.
He wouldn't touch the TV to see if it was hot. See if it had been on.
My mom never did.
I mean, he did that, but like for the most part, he wasn't. I guess he wasn't fully tripping.
Yeah, I'd have been like, I put a plate of spaghetti up there.
Cause I be wondering, and I want to get your perspective. Cause I've asked Keith before. Cause as a nigga who didn't like I learned the lessons. Like, what? Okay, so you're on punishment.
It wasn't a lesson to be learned. I was just failing.
That's what I'm saying. But at one point, but you said you were failing because you weren't paying attention. So at what point do you be like, let me lock the fuck in because I don't like this.
7th grade. So 7th grade year, I think 7th and then 8th grade, I ended up having like a 3-point something.
Okay.
And, but it was one of those things. I was like, man, I can't go out with my friends. So I'm watching my brother out there. They playing basketball. I couldn't play on the basketball teams.
Yeah. So but why did it take a whole year? Why did after the first time you be like, all right, this sucks?
I was just like, nigga, it's just like this. Because
like, this is just life. Life
just
is
doesn't suck.
Well, part of it too was because I was still able to sneak and do shit. So my dad was too. He had girlfriends and shit like. Somebody would be like, I'll be right back, you niggas. Hey, make sure Keenan watch on TV. Corey would act like he gonna tell him but he's not gonna tell him.
Yeah.
So he'd be like, nigga, he's tripping on me watching TV. If my dad is gone, so it's just like that's why I was able to survive. It wasn't like if I had zero TV at all for a full year.
Yeah.
Then I probably would have drove myself crazy, and I probably would have got shit together before a semester, like the quarterly report card or whatever the case may be. But the fact that I was able to do that type of stuff regardless. I was like, all right, nigga, when you leave to go out with a chick tonight, I'm gonna be watching fucking cartoons, nigga.
But you could have been doing your homework, nigga, and then been done with the punishment. Yeah. Like that's my thing was always like, I want to be done with this. What do I need to do to be done with this? Just do this. All right, bet.
I wasn't a homework nigga. One, math was just hard to me.
Nobody's a homework. I hated my fucking homework.
I just wasn't really
I did it because it needed to be done. I don't want to do none of that shit. I don't want to do my chores.
He wanted me to be one of them homework niggas.
Yeah.
Ain't no homework nigga. What?
None of us like any of that shit.
No, there's homework niggas out there. There's homework niggas.
There are nerds. There are nerds.
There's research niggas. Yeah,
there are nerds.
Research niggas.
There's extra credit niggas.
There are. There's fucking
for sure.
hate them. Yeah.
My wife was a homework nigga. I think she was on an AP class and she had
a homework
great
nigga.
grades. She loved it. Yeah.
I get it, but I just
AP
hated
niggas is hilarious too. Research niggas.
I hated being in trouble. It was just the worst. So I've always just been curious. Or people are, constantly defying. I'd be like, you enjoy. Like I loved my freedom. Yeah. I got to do pretty much whatever I wanted because I just did the few little things. Fine, if that's what you want. If I got to do this to be able to do all of this, fine, nigga. Like I don't care.
I mean, I was pretty hard headed, and I think my dad. I think my dad knew that my brother was because he gave him a lot of the leadership skills early. I think he knew my brother was like a little bit hard headed. And he was just like more stubborn in the sense where it's just like, oh, you're just like, because you're older, you're trying to define me because you're trying to figure shit out. I think with me, my dad was kind of legit being like, Keenan is going to fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like he's most likely to join a gang. He's most likely to get a girl pregnant. He's most likely to do all these different things because I was just kind of like, okay, I'll do this.
Okay,
like I was a younger brother, whereas my brother was just like,
more aloof. The one behind you is always more aloof. Like as the oldest, you're just like the parent. I get what my dad says the same shit. Like, and now that I have a parent, kids, like even though Kendrick he's not that typical second child.
Well, I wasn't even super aloof. I was just like, I want to try. Like, I'll try this. Whereas I felt like my brother was just like, when it came to even gangs, it was just like, man, this shit is stupid. Don't do it. I was just like, I told you when we got approached by a gang one time, and it was just like, someone trying to put the young niggas on. I was just like, so what we doing? Like, we get bitches money and we get bitches. I said, hey, I like bitches. Yeah. Dude, is it two separate sets of bitches? You said it twice, and then the money. It was just like those are things that I love. Yeah. So if my brother wasn't there that night, there would have been a fear for sure of that, but I probably would have got put on that day. Yeah. Which would have like changed my whole trajectory also. Yeah. Hood nigga, light eyes, Keenan.
Well, your eyes would have darkened. That's how that
what
goes.
They have?
From all the weed.
Yeah.
Your lips and eyes.
Black lips, black eyes.
Oh shit.
That'd be crazy.
Like you sold
lip
smack
color
to the community.
That'd be great. Eye color, lip color.
Black.
Black.
right, we had
Weed
hour
smoke.
9.
Yeah, we can do it. We can end it.
Hey, did your dad ever want you to join the military? What's his thoughts on that?
One, this is the thing. So like I wasn't. I remember when it came to college. Like
It just wasn't a college nigga.
I wasn't one of them college niggas.
I wasn't. I wasn't because my thing was like my grades. I was struggling. I think my SAT scores were trash. My ACT scores were trash, and so I was like, I was gonna do this college. It's like a trade school college, like a Westwood or whatever the case may be. It's like I go into like e-business or some shit like that. And my dad was like, "Look, man, you either gonna go to college, like a real college, or if you got to go to a JUCO first, then go to a university, you gonna do that, or you join in the military. You're not about to do one of these stupid ass fucking DeVry schools, nigga." And so I was like, all right, cool. I said, fuck it, I'll join. I was like, I remember I said, I'll join the Air Force. So I was like, the Air Force seems dope. He's like,
That's the easy one.
he was like, nah, nigga, real military, nigga. You gonna be a Marine if you gonna stay here in my house. And I remember just being like, I ain't gonna be no Marine.
Yeah.
I can't be no Marine, nigga. I can't do it. And so, but he never pushed it saying like, y'all have to be this. It was just like your choice to either go to college or he was scaring us to have to go to the military.
Every black dad from that era it's college or military. That was my dad. College or military. Which one you doing?
Oh, because your dad was in the military too, right?
But he didn't like the military at all.
Oh, he didn't?
His was just, you going to do something.
Yeah.
So it's either college or military because, what else is there? Or a job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
I think they also do that, but like afterwards. One, in the military, you're gonna get a check. You're gonna most likely get housing. You're gonna have a car. You'll be able to set your family
learn
up
a
and
skill,
stuff like
all
that.
that good shit.
Yeah. He's like looking at it from that standpoint. Like you're not gonna have to sit out here. Even he's like, I don't even want you going to just work real quick. You're not gonna just go out and get a regular job.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go to college so you can get a better job and you can have a side job while you're doing that. But nigga, the goal is to get a career job from college.
Yeah, like I think about it, like let's say I graduated and I'm like, I just want to work at, he'd have been like, nah, nigga.
So, yep,
like,
that wasn't having that.
You need to build to this. Like you're not just gonna get a job.
And I remember one of my homies. He was a hooper, and I remember he came in. He worked for a Hilti, and I was working at Home Depot. And I remember he came in, and he was just like, I think he was making like 50, 60 a year. And I'm over here making fucking hourly still.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? I think I'm like maybe in my early 20s. And then he's like, he already got his pickup truck. He's like, man, yeah, I make great money over here. I was like, what'd you do? You went to college, to become like management? He was like, fuck no. He was like, right after high school, I went straight into Hilti. I just worked my way up. And he's like, I have the chance to make $100,000 within the next like 2 years and doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting there like, I should have just went straight to a fucking job.
My dad
fucking.
But what
straight.
job? Not every job has that kind of growth either.
And then also like he has no lateral mobility. Like he has to stay within this. He can't pivot.
I mean, I guess technically he can go if he wanted to go corporate, which can make more money, and then whatever the case may be. And now,
yeah.
Now I think he's actually in the Bay Area, or maybe not the Bay, maybe Sacramento. But like,
fuck that nigga.
He bought 2 houses out there though.
Yeah.
He bought 2 houses. So I was just like,
is he happy though?
Yeah, he was.
I bet you he ain't smashed better bitches than you though.
It was a white dude that was pulling. He was a white dude that was pulling holes and had swag. He was one of those white dudes that had swag. Yeah, he might have.
Nah, they weren't as bad as the bitches you was fucking know.
Probably weren't. But
in college, you feel me?
Gary with the build up.
Yeah, I had some ones. But no, it was like it made me think. Like I worked at the movie theater at the time when I was younger, and I was like, the moving up in there. The guy worked as a projectionist manager, and my brother still makes fun of me to this day. But I was like, he made like 70, 80K at the time. I think he might have made more than that because he was a projectionist or the projection manager for like multiple movie theaters. And I was like, I worked at that projection booth. I was like, oh, I can go do this nigga's job because I'm already nice at this shit. I actually love working at the movie theater, and it's just like it's something fun I would do. I just move up. And I remember my dad was just like, "You want to work at the movies for the rest of your fucking life?"
I get it. I get that response. Like, I get it. Because you didn't say projectionist. Like that dude is doing things. You just, I don't want to look at the movies. This nigga.
Well, it was to be a projectionist because I was working as a projectionist like my last 2 years working there. So it was like, I was like, oh, I'm seeing what he's doing. He's doing the maintenance side of these things. I was just like, nigga, like he can teach me that. I already know how to thread all these movies already. I already know how to do this shit. So it's just like it would have been a skill that I would have learned, but.
I mean, I get it from their standpoint. They're coming from a different era of like.
My dad was afraid,
and they want you to be better. They're dreaming so big. I mean, my dad just told me shit. I think last month he's like, one of the happiest days of my life is when you signed your letter of intent.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
He was like,
big.
I was like, all the work we put, he was like, I was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, he was like, you didn't want to go up there. I didn't want to go to Montana. Like, I wanted to hold out for Boise.
Yeah.
But he was like, I felt like it. Like I did right. Like I did, you know. And then you're going on to do this thing. You're leaving. You know, you're going on to do what you love to do. Blah blah. Yeah. He's like, that's one of my top moments. Like of your whole life was finally doing that. And I was like, damn, I didn't know this nigga cared like that. Like that. You know what I mean? I just figured they was like, good for you. You know?
It makes sense as a black father. He got his black sons for a free ride to college or whatever the case may be. My dad getting my brother through all like he raised a son that got a PhD. Yeah. Like you know.
Yeah.
My dad's like, nigga, like he can sit back and even though I didn't get any degrees, he can sit back.
You gotta drop a special soon, nigga.
You finish
I said he got to drop a special soon, nigga. Like,
I told you I'm not a college nigga.
I don't know you didn't finish. You went to like 3 different colleges.
Like 7 years.
Really? You weren't in college for it.
Yeah, I was in college. I was super senior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you still didn't finish?
I had the credits to graduate. I just didn't have the credits in my all the credits
in my
major.
Field,
my major.
I met the requirements,
but
I wasn't
just
selected.
Just for general.
But I wasn't selected. Yeah. I don't know what went into that process.
Just give me the regular degree. I don't even need.
I was like, what?
Like you got a degree. I got a degree. And what? Nigga, I just got a degree.
At the end of the day, I walked. I did what everybody else wanted to do.
Okay.
I walked, cap and gown, threw the bitch up in the air.
Yeah.
I got the pictures. I got my little task. I got all that shit.
Yeah. What discipline is attached to you?
So you were real. That means you was in like 3 credits then.
Yeah, I was in. Yeah, I was within.
You was close. 6. Yeah, 6.
6 credits. Yep. And I mean, my dad. He doesn't say anything now, but like I would say like 4 or 5 years ago, they were just like, could you just go finish your son?
I get it. I get it. Because it's just like, nigga, you put all that time and money to finish 6 short. Nigga, just
Did
go
you finish?
do it. Yeah, I finished.
Yeah.
I have a reason why I didn't finish though.
I finished. And I walked before. And then I was 3 short.
Oh, okay.
And I went to the local JC and took 3 1-unit courses. Like I was like, nigga.
Mine wasn't set up that way. Mine was set up differently. So that the reason why I didn't finish was, one, I had to take a certain class that this teacher was failing the whole class. And she was like, I failed whole class. I did last semester. I do again this time. that was it. She's like, I have tenure. They can't fire me.
Damn.
And she's the only one that taught that class. So you had to go through her.
Why'd you have to take that class?
Because it was an operation management class for my major.
What was your major?
Business marketing.
Oh.
So I had to take that class. To get through it. And then I had to take I had to pass an English. I don't know if they had to do it where I was at, but we had to pass like at Cal States. They make you pass like a writing test or like the upper English. But in the upper English class, they make you take a writing test. That same writing test, and that writing test is pretty much everything. So I'm passing the class, right? But that writing test, if you don't pass that, it pretty much drops your A down to a C-, which means you don't pass the class. You have to pass for the C. So I was getting like an A in a class, and then when the test came, you needed a 7 to pass out of a 10, and two different professors. Listen to what I'm saying. How they do it is 2 different professors. They grade your paper. You do a 5-page essay. I mean a 5-paragraph essay.
I remember those. Yeah.
So when you're doing it, one person might be like, oh, this is a pass. Like I'm gonna give you a 4. The other one will be like, you know what? I don't think it's that good. I'm going to give you a 2. So now you just got a 6. Or, I mean, one professor told me, she said, hey, 3, everybody always gives 3s because we know that the other professor is probably not going to give you a 4. So we all usually give people 3s. So a lot of people fail that test because they purposely give 3s. And I'm just like, yo, why am I not passing? Well, you know, the structure could have been a little bit better, or you could have just gave a little bit stronger points. I'm just like, but I gave good enough points. We're just like, that is good enough for a 3. And so I took it like twice, and I got a 6 twice. So it wasn't like I was getting 3s out of a total. I was getting 6s. I was right there.
Whole game.
And then I told you. Remember I told you the one professor. And we could end
got OnlyFans now.
No, it was this white lady. She was cute too. I was passing, and then all of a sudden we about to take that test, and she was saying like how she was a cheerleader. And she was like a top like cheerleader like from her school. She cheerleaded for like, you know, not professionally, but what do they call it? Like
I mean, you can cheerlead
college or for club.
For club or whatever. She was like high end, like a cheerleader. She wasn't just like at school doing it. She was like high end. And I was just like, she's like, you know, I was a real athlete. I played sports. And I was like, cheerleading's a sport? She was like, yeah, it's a real sport. I was like, it's not a sport if it doesn't have a ball. And I just said it to be funny. And the whole class laughed, and I saw her get enraged. She's like, I fucking spent my whole life being a cheerleader.
Countless hours.
And honestly, rightfully so, she's right.
You shit on her whole...
Nigga.
And she put in work for that. She broke in sprains. She put in work for that shit.
Nigga, when I got my motherfucking score back, I remember she went and slid it on my table. And I didn't even look at it. I was like, she fucked me. She fucked me. And I looked at it.
She was like, how dare this nigger that can't play basketball tell me what an athlete
You do nothing for this school.
Hey, nigga.
You're just here.
And a 6. And she's like, you know what, Ken? Dude, you made it worse? She said, you were right there. I almost gave you a 7. You were right there.
That one joke.
She was like, man, if you would have just corrected this right here and made a stronger point for this, you would have got it.
You still got those papers?
Nah,
let me read them. Let me read them.
Cause I passed those shits. I used to write other people's shits.
And then you know, now it should change. Like I guess I can technically have like, you know, whether ChatGPT or whatever write it now, but whatever. I ain't going back. I ain't going back, nigga.
6
for that one class.
Close.
It's 2 classes.
2 classes.
Operation management and the English class.
Yeah.
See, cracking jokes.
All right, that's our goal. We got to get him back in there.
Oh, there's no goal, nigga. You're not gonna do it.
No, he's got to.
She's gone. She's gone.
He's got to drop a special. He's got to drop, like, I'm talking about HBO, Netflix. So his dad could be like, one son got a PhD. The other, look at him on the TV. You gotta give him that big moment. You didn't give him a degree. You gotta give him a big moment.
I don't think Kenan cares about giving him that big moment.
Well, I will say, what my dad says that he's most proud of me about is that I did go to therapy. I did do the work, and he feels like, you know.
So he's proud of you as a man.
As a man, he goes like, son, I feel like as a man, you've gotten to where even because my dad has done the work now in therapy, so he's looking at it like, son, we had different type of discussions, probably even in your like my brother and him have.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I appreciate you're a good husband, and I know you're gonna be a great father, and he's proud about that stuff.
All they want you to do is be a better man than me. That's all they want. That's all they want is just be better than me.
Yeah.
That's every dad is just like, nigga, just be better than me.
I mean, the bar wasn't high for a long time.
Which is even more, where they're even more like, shit.
Yeah.
I know I didn't do better than me. Like, you know, for others, it's probably.
To think about like dads who like own really successful businesses and their sons are coming up just like, and they're just like, just don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
pretty much.
Yeah.
You can never be me.
Yeah. I'm LeBron James.
Don't fuck it up.
Just make the team.
Yeah. Just don't fuck it up.
Don't
help bring shame to the family.
Yeah.
I could get you on the team, nigga. But yeah, I think you're right. It's like, just don't fuck up the it's just be
don't
regular.
fuck up the legacy.
Yeah.
Right?
I put in
Give
a lot of work.
Give my grandkids a chance. They'll do better. But you
drop that first baby, he gonna be like,
yeah, if I got the baby first before Corey does, it'll be like, that's gonna change. That was for sure.
You gave my first grandkid.
Yeah.
Well,
we're not technically. I didn't. So.
Yeah. Well, nope.
Wait, what?
Lost there.
My sister.
Yeah.
Oh, as a kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One big failure.
His own So what?
Back to the drawing board. One big failure over there.
For a long time, I accepted that. I was just like, well, looks like I'm considered like the black sheep. I'm not the guy because my sister, she makes really good money at her job. She has 3 children. You know, takes care of the kids. My brother makes a lot of money. You know, I was just like, I as long as I make good money in comedy, I mean, he can't really say anything.
That's what I'm saying. You got to hit. You got to hit.
Yeah.
Why he can see it.
Yeah.
You know, drop that special.
Oh, son, I can't even understand what you're saying because I'm deaf. But I'm glad you did
Good
it.
stuff. Yeah.
All right,
guys.
All right, man.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
We transitioned.
Format.
We started goofy, got deep. You know, that's what we do here. That's what we do here.
Yeah, man. I feel like they too. I feel like when people that watch the long version of the podcast too, they like when we get like
introspective.
Deep, introspective, deep into some shit to where it's just like, all right, it's not just all fun and games and laughter with us.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we're grounded and you know, intelligent, young or middle-aged black men, whatever we are.
I'm old.
Middle-aged.
We old. Middle age.
Crazy.
Whatever.
Middle age is crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, John.
All right, well, time to get high.